Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Saglitch, aka Sag. Today, I'm bringing you some domination gameplay. Really, did I have to explain what game mode I'm playing? I mean, it's kind of given nowadays. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. These are some more embarrassing stories. Sorry it's been taking me so long to get to these. I've been playing a lot of Madden, a lot of Advanced Warfare. Just trying to find the right games to talk over. And guys, if you don't like the actual gameplay, just minimize the computer right now. Listen to me tell you some stories about my personal life. And guys, I like to see your input. If you have stories similar to this or have comments on them, just don't hesitate to go ahead and say something to me. Anyway, this has these embarrassing stories or stories, whatever you want to call them, have to do in the range of when I went to college. And I went to a university for 4 years. I got my bachelor's in history, but at the same time, I played football. So a lot of these have to do with sports-related things coming up or anything like that. So let's just go ahead and jump into my first story. And this comes from actually the football team. Freshman year, I didn't get a scholarship for athletics. I had the academic scholarship already, and at the time I was basically a preferred walk-on. I mean, I didn't get the scholarship money just because I was not really highly recruited, but they wanted me on the team. Therefore, they recruited me, but they didn't give me scholarship money, if that makes sense. Not that I was the greatest football player. I was just a hard worker, and I did enough to get the attention of the college. So, anyway, fast forward into college, I joined the team, and it's the off season. It's a preseason, basically, where we start working out, we start practicing, everything's getting set to place where we should be. Part of the two-a-days during the summer camp, it wasn't really mandatory, but our strength and conditioning coach was also our offensive line coach, so he made sure to take care of the offensive line as he see fit. He always put us first and foremost when thinking about things. He was a great coach, great guy. He actually coaches down at the Citadel now. If you guys are familiar with college football, it's I believe, a Navy-oriented school. I know it's military, but it's in Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm very familiar with it. So, good luck to him. Everything he does, he's a great guy. He's a hard ass, but he's a great guy. Anyway, he has us in the pool during these two-a-days to get us relaxed, have some free time. We played a bunch of water games, like Sharks and Minnows, Marco Polo. We basically did stuff to blow off steam. And when we became in the pool, some of the guys couldn't swim, and I found it hilarious because I grew up in water, like with a pool, my whole life. But that's neither here nor there. When we got in the pool, we were just having a lot of fun to ourselves. We were, just being relaxed. These 2 days got to us. It hurt our body. And the water is able to, it's used in a lot of physical therapy to get like muscles, strength back, and use in resistance and stuff like that. So it's really good for you. And so, there's no, guys, when I say there's no hazing, that's kind of like a blanket statement. There's no particular individualized hazing on the team. You always, as a new player, you always have to go through the little something to prove your worth and to basically, make sure you fit in. And you want to do stuff to fit in. You don't want to, you want to basically be that. You don't want to be that individual that doesn't do things to make himself. So, anyway, with us already being a tight-knit group as the offensive line, our quote-unquote hazing for it is a belly flop contest as a freshman. All freshmen had to do it. You had to get on the diving part. It was like an Olympic-sized pool. You had to get on the diving part and just, jump up, spread eagle, and just listen to that that slap, that hit, where you get the perfect belly flop. And all the guys, every single person on the football team were out in the middle of the pool. Yeah, everybody's waiting for you to go ahead and hit. They're going to judge it. They're going to clap or boo or whatever it may be. So there was, I believe, with us, I want to say 6 offensive linemen coming up in my freshman group. We all get up, take turns. Most of us, it's not that we're, we kind of, I don't know how to put this, saying it in my terms, bitched out. But we were worried when we hit how bad it would hurt. And, it's those basic reflexes that, oh, this is going to hurt, I need to do something, were set in our mind. So we obviously kind of like squinched up before we hit the water. Always didn't go as loud as it should, and every time one of us did it, we hear boo, and then start chanting, go again, go again, go again. So we were made, at least if they weren't happy enough the first time, we were at least made to go once more. It's okay, guys. We were all, they weren't pressuring us. They were just basically telling us to do it, and, it was under our own volition. So I get up there, and I'm doing belly flops before. I understand how bad it hurt, and, it is what it is. I just wanted to do it once to get it over with. That way it doesn't kind of hurt, and then I have to do it again to where it really hurts. So I go up, do a belly flop. Wasn't the best, but it was good enough to please the audience. So we go one by one, get it all through, and finally, with it all said, everybody's clapping, coming over, congratulating us, explaining that we're part of the group now. Well, with all that's over, one of the older guys, he wasn't too much older than we are. I believe he was a redshirt sophomore at the time. He got up on the diving board, and everybody's like, Eddie! And so, new to the team, we're not really sure what's going on. And this guy was like 6'3", and he was huge. I mean, huge. And everybody's like clapping. They start the little, chant going. And he gets up. He does the little, how Dez Bryant goes out there and does the X mark on the with his arms. He gets up, does the X mark. This was before Dez Bryant was in the league. Does the X mark and just flat out spread eagle before he even jumps, and then walks forward and falls. Next thing we hear is, like, it was perfect. He was flat, everything. He just gets up and he's like, yeah! And everybody's like going nuts. And we're like, go again, go again, go again. And so, of course, he doesn't, he doesn't care. He's just straight up, gets out of the water, spread eagles again, and boom, hits it twice as hard that time. Gets up like nothing ever happened, and everybody's like clapping and stuff, and the coach finally is like, yeah, that's enough, guys. But we're like, what is going on? This guy just straight did it twice, and that was better than all of us combined. And so, apparently, his freshman year, he did it, and it doesn't, like, for some reason, how he does it, it doesn't hurt him. So he doesn't mind getting up and, giving the people something to, laugh about, something to, cheer about, and just bringing us all together. And he basically did it, what I think is he basically did to show that he's, he's no better than freshmen. He's no better, that we're all the same, and that he wants us to feel accepted. So he kind of does it for us. So, yeah. So basically, that's about as far as hazing goes with football for college. It was a great fun. Offensive line, defensive line basically wrestled in the pool for quote unquote superiority, and of course, the offensive line won. I mean, come on, guys, we did. But next up, not really not really embarrassing story, just an experience with the football team. This is my second of the two football stories in this episode. Um, I don't know how many of you guys have ever met someone famous, and if that is, who have you met that was the most famous in your eyes? Really, the only person famous before this that I've met was Jason David Franks, who played Tommy, the Green Ranger, in the original Power Rangers. Awesome dude, really cool guy. Um, at least when I met him, guy signed an autograph from Tommy. Jason David Franks, you're the man. Just want to say that taking that karate class with you was awesome. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, um, yeah, the biggest, most influential star that I've ever met in my life was Ronnie Lott. And if you guys don't know, he was either, I can't remember if he played strong or free safety. Regardless, he was a safety on that 49ers team that solidified the 4 Super Bowl rings all those years, basically almost in a row. And he, along with one of the biggest contributor to the university, were going into business together. And he came out to our football team and taught the importance of camaraderie, working out, and just giving us an inspirational speech. Um, he did it every year that I was there, but most memorable was my freshman year. And after practice, the coach tells us to go upstairs, that he's got a surprise, and Ronnie Lott comes through the door. Well, we kind of knew what was coming because the seniors or upperclassmen told us about it, and they told us, no matter what, do not have your phone out, do not talk while he's talking. He demands a lot of respect, and he expects it from you guys. He's not afraid to get in your face and, basically rip you out of the seat. So Ronnie Lott comes in, and we're all clapping, we're going nuts. Me being small town guy that I am, I've never met anybody that's played in the Super Bowl, let alone, gotten 4 Super Bowl rings. So he's talking to us, he's expressing everything, and, he gets through his thing, and which was a great speech, by the way. He's very inspirational, a very cool guy to talk to. He actually talked to us one-on-one as well afterwards, but he asked if anyone had questions. And one of the younger defensive backs raised their hand, and we already knew the guy. He was, not really the brightest crayon on the bunch, you know what I'm saying? So we're like, oh God, please don't embarrass us. Please don't say anything stupid. So he raised his hand. And this is while all along Mr. Lott is passing along his Super Bowl rings and letting us all see. These things were huge. They were amazing. They were awesome. And yeah, so I got to see 4 Super Bowl rings firsthand. Almost touched them. You know what I'm saying? Almost took it out and put it on. But no, I didn't. But yeah, so he raised his hand and we're like, oh God, please don't ask. And he goes, Mr. Lott, why did you cut off your finger? And if you guys don't know the story between that, Ryan Lott and one of the plays leading up to the what is it? The conference? No, it's not conference. It's division playoffs. In the divisional playoffs, Ryan Lott made a play and he got his finger, I believe, hooked in a helmet, I believe, and basically completely broke the top knuckle of his finger, and he was going to have it amputated because he was going to have it surgically replaced on his hand, and that would have taken, he said, I believe, up to at least 6 weeks before he could even play or do anything. And so he elected to just cut the knuckle, the first knuckle of his finger off. That way he could, just get done with, have it completely cauterized and everything. And so when we hear our teammate ask this, we're like, oh God, what did he do? And Mr. Light goes from very energetic, smiling, to a very like turnaround 180, like angry face, straight up angry. And I was worried about this kid because he was up front. The coaches were behind Mr. Light, and besides that, Ronnie Light, guys, is still in playing shape. Like, he might be older, but this guy is huge. So I was worried about this kid. And he looks at me, he goes, well, what do you mean? I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. And he goes, well, your finger, why did you cut it off? Why instead you didn't get it surgically replaced or worked on? And Ronnie Light goes, son, I'm not, like, basically he's telling him to shut up without saying to shut up, And he's like, son, I'm not understanding your question. I don't really understand why you're asking me this. And he's like, I just wanted to know what. And so Ronnie Light looks at me and goes, well, why wouldn't you? He's like, well, why wouldn't you cut your own finger? I mean, he's like, your teammates sacrificed so much for you. And guys, I apologize for the dog in the back. She's outside. But he goes, why would you jeopardize something as big as going to possibly playing in the Super Bowl and possibly even winning the Super Bowl, helping your team win the Super Bowl, to get your finger surgically worked on instead? And he basically felt that the risk outweighed the rewards here. And, kudos to Ronnie Light for making that decision. I'm not sure if many people could. But, yeah, he basically looked at the guy and he goes, who are you to ask this? And he gets in the guy's face and he goes, you wouldn't make the same sacrifice for your teammates that I made for mine? He's like, it's not even a sacrifice. It's one of those things where it was just, at the time, he felt that it was worth him losing part of his finger to play in the Super Bowl, which they won, and he contributed hugely in. And he was like, I don't understand why you're asking me this. Like, what? Like, the kid thought he would say he was doing something different. I mean, I don't really know where he was getting at with the question, but, I understand where it's coming from, but at the same time, it's not really his business to ask that because, Mr. Light's a very respectable player. He's retired. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's a great guy, and kudos to him for not letting anything get into his head to where he's too good for anything. So, but basically he looked at the guy, gets in his face, and he's like, well, why wouldn't you? Why are you asking me that question? Like, what? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean I didn't? So, yeah. But basically, guys, in order to make a team effort, and I'm not saying cut off your first knuckle and continue playing like a badass, but as a team player for anything, whether it comes to esports, whether it comes to sports, whether it comes to life in general, as a member of your family, basically look at it as a team. Become a productive member. Help out when you can. Help out as much as possible, because you never know what little bit of sacrifice, like what little sacrifice you have to make. You never know how far along it'll get you in life, or that it'll mean to the people around you. But with that being said, the guy almost got killed by Ronnie Light, one of the greatest players in NFL history. Great dude. Met him. Was awesome. But yeah, I'm pretty much out of information. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys, now you guys sort of know why Ronnie Light cut off his finger instead of gotten it surgically removed. Or surgically replaced. It's not really my story to tell you, but it kind of went along with what the stories were about. And if you made it this far, I appreciate it. You guys have now heard me ramble on for about 20 minutes. I am going to go ahead and let this finish out playing. But with that being said, guys, leave a like if you did, comment if you want, subscribe if you haven't. Also, check in the description below for other embarrassing stories, as well as my channel and Twitter. Contact me anytime you feel like it. If you want to talk, message me, comment. Anything you guys feel like doing. I don't shy away from anybody new. But I appreciate you guys supporting me and watching these videos. What little bit helps, whether it's 1 view, 10 views, doesn't matter to me. Every little bit helps me, helps me feel better about what I do, and I just do this for fun, So anyway, guys, that being said, hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.